Toby Talks, and today's sort of topic is how to get better every day. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all the way that I know how to do it, and the way that's helped me, and that's helped a lot of people, around me. And that's sort of the 1% system. Now, I learned this system from the football program that I was in, and it has helped me a lot. And that system is called the 1% system. Now you may be thinking like 1%? You kidding me? 1% better each day? It sounds like a scam, right? Well, 1% adds up, and it adds up fast. You get 1% better for a week, that's 7% better. You get 1% better for a whole month, that's what's it called? It's 31% better depending on which month it is. But you do that consistently the whole year, you're 365% better, than you were, at the start of the year whenever you started it. And I feel like having that mindset is very, very, or in my opinion, because this is purely based on opinion, is very much needed for self-improvement. Because the easiest way for you to not improve is for you to expect to see changes, in a day, a month, or a week. It takes longer than that. And I feel like the 1% system, you know, helps with that a little bit in terms of being like, oh yeah, did I get 1% better today? Oh yeah, I did. It's gonna add up. It's sort of like, it's sort of like, what can I put it? What's a good analogy for it? I can't think of one at the top of my head right now, but it's a very good way of like improving, in whether it is in a sport, weightlifting in the gym, you want to hit a new PR, you hit 1 pound over your PR, that's a new personal record. You know what I'm saying? You got 1 pound better, aka 1% better. I mean, I guess there's the analogy I was looking for, but you still moral of the story, you still get better, and that's what it's all about, man. Self improvement, getting better at what you love to do, getting better as a person, just being that person, and it's just it takes some commitment too, and it helps you learn, like, man, stuff takes time, but like if I wait it out, it's gonna be worth it. And that's what some people fail to see. People want to get better overnight, and that doesn't just happen, you know. Especially nowadays, people just lack the commitment and lack the drive to want to, lack the drive to want to get better, and lack the drive to you know like like lack the want to improve as a person. And I think that's really messed up. I also think social media has to do with it, and the standards that we set on, young people. You need to be successful. You need to have a high paying job. Like, yeah, those are all things that we want, but like, if we really see no fulfillment in those, like, is it even worth doing them? And some people would say yes, because like, you bring the bag home, but really, is it soulfully fulfilling? And I feel like if you're doing something soulfully fulfilling rather than something that pays good that you don't enjoy doing, then you're gonna really start to dislike that, and you're gonna really start to regret going into that field, as opposed to not making as much money, but actually enjoying and feeling fulfilled in what you're working as, You know, whether that be like an architect or, you know, what's it called? Coach, assistant coach, something like that. You know, because we all have our part, right? We all have our part. And would you rather have your part doing what you love and making, you know, a little less money, or would you rather have your part absolutely hating and not wanting to go to work, but making, you know, hella bread, you know? And for me, it would be, honestly, it would be, what's it called? Feeling fulfilled in what I do. That's why I want to go into like coaching, because I love that stuff, man. You know, I love coaching up somebody and then watching them be great and watching them use what I tell them or use what I suggest to them, and it worked for them. You know, I love seeing that, and I seek fulfillment in that. And I honestly, playing football, I didn't feel as fulfilled as, you know, coaching little kids and the Pee Wee League. You know, I mean, I love doing that, man. And I feel fulfilled doing it. Now, granted, I might not make as much money, but man, you know, coaching those kids, man, there's something special about that isn't worth, you know, numbers on a paycheck, to me at least. And I know not everybody's like that. You know, some people just care about making the bag no matter what they're doing. You know, they could be a really talented artist, but you know, you really don't get any profit in that field until you're not here anymore. You're dead. And you know, they could be making bank as like a lab tech, but not enjoy that and absolutely just hate going to work every day. Like, you're not gonna feel fulfilled, and it's not gonna feel worth it. You gotta do something that, you know, that's worth it, man. You gotta be, you gotta enjoy what you do in order to, you know, gain actual profit from it. And like, that goes into being 1% better. Like, if you really don't want to be better, you're not going to get better. You know, that's just how the cookie crumbles, to be frank. You've got to want to. If you're not, like, say, yeah, you get 1% better, you know, on Tuesday. On Wednesday, if you don't want to get 1% better, you're not going to get 1% better because you didn't want to. And you have to want to. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit sick, but you have to want to do that, you know? And I hope somebody sees this video, and I hope it helps them, you know? I hope, you know, I hope it helps them, you know, with something that they've been struggling with, you know, whether that be, you know, losing weight, whether that be grades. Like, you have it inside of you to get and be 1% better every day. Everybody does. It's just the want to, and it's just the drive that you have to do it. And I see it every day. I see it at school. I see it, you know, during, like, I used to see it during football. It's like, there's people out there that are okay with being mediocre. But if you're watching this video, and there's going to be a select few of people that are going to watch this video that don't want to be mediocre, that don't want to be, you know, stuck in the same place for the rest of their life. They want to get 1% better each day. And those are the people that are going to make a change in this world. Big, small, it doesn't matter. You're making a change, and it's helping people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have to want to. And you know, there's nothing wrong with being mediocre. You know, there's nothing wrong with being average. It's just, you could be so much more. Anybody watching this video could be so much more. And you can't see that until you actually put the effort in and try. You gotta have to try. You gotta have the want. And I know I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but man, it's what I've been told, and it's true. You know, I speak the truth, bro. And like, you watching this video can be so much more than average. You don't want to be average. There's nothing bad with it, but it's just not it. You know, at least for me, from my perspective, it's not it. And you just, like I said, gotta want to. And that kind of coincides with getting 1% better, man. Like, it also goes with being resilient too. You can't just give up when stuff gets hard. Like I said, you gotta have to want to. You gotta have the want to. Because if you give up when stuff gets hard, do you really want it though? Like, be real. Do you really want it? And I'm guilty of this myself. I've given up. Everybody gives up at some point or another. Everybody gives up. It's whether you get back up that matters. It's whether you try one more time. And then after that, if you try one more time and you keep going until you get it, you gotta keep trying. Gotta keep trying. And it's kind of ironic because I'm playing Spider-Man. But if you
getting beat up over there. Not on my watch.
if you wanna get better, you gotta have the want to. And you know, that's just it. That's what it boils down to. You gotta have the want to. But you know, some people just don't, and that's okay. So that's sort of all I wanted to talk about. So yeah.